This is my land. Get off now!
Progress doesn't wait. It's for the community.
It started with a foul wave of justice. One crisp summer evening, Linda and her band of entitled neighbors were gathered around crackling campfires on my rolling fields, toasting esmores and laughing like they owned the place. The next moment, a dark tide of sewage surged across the grass, swallowing tents whole and turning their perfect little getaway into a nightmare of muck and misery. Screams pierced the air as families bolted upright, slipping and sliding in the sludge, their coolers floating away like abandoned rafts. Kids wailed, adults cursed, and Linda stood frozen in horror, her pristine loafers vanishing into the brown soup. What they had declared a community retreat had become the sloppiest disaster imaginable, and as I watched from the edge of my barn, a quiet satisfaction settled over me. This wasn't some freak accident. It was payback, pure and simple. But to understand why I'd go to such extremes, you need to know the story of my Nebraska homestead and how one pushy HOA queen tried to steal it right out from under me. My name is Robert Thompson, and I've spent my entire life on this 50-acre spread just outside Lincoln, Nebraska. It's not much to look at from the highway: a weathered gray barn, fields of corn and alfalfa swaying in the wind, and a modest farmhouse that's seen better days. But to me, it's everything. I was raised here, back when my dad would wake me at dawn to milk the cows and mend fences. He built this place after serving in Korea, clearing the land with nothing but grit and a second-hand tractor. Every furrow in the soil tells a story of hard work, from the droughts that nearly broke us in the 80s to the bountiful harvests that kept the lights on. For folks my age pushing 65 now, the land isn't just property. It's a lifeline, a piece of who you are. Dad always said, a man's ground is his backbone. Let someone bend it, and you'll never stand straight again. He was right. This farm has been my anchor through marriages, kids growing up and moving away, and the quiet loneliness of widowhood. It's where I find peace in the rhythm of planting and reaping, far from the chaos of city life. Trouble crept in slowly, like weeds in a neglected row. The suburban Meadows subdivision sprouted up on our southern border about a decade ago, rows of cookie-cutter homes with manicured lawns and white picket fences. At first, it was harmless. They'd wave as they drove by, and I'd nod back. But then the HOA got bolder. They extended a walking path a few feet past their line, planted a neighborhood trail sign right up against my wire fence. I shrugged it off, figuring it was an honest mistake. After all, who confuses a working farm with public parkland? Then Linda Hargrove took over as HOA president. She was the type who could turn a neighborhood barbecue into a battlefield-sharp bob haircut, yoga outfits in pastel shades, and a voice that carried like a foghorn. Linda didn't win her position through wisdom or fairness. She bullied her way in, outshouting anyone who dared disagree. To her, control was oxygen, and she craved it over every square inch of her community. Linda started eyeing my fields like they were prime real estate for her grand visions. She'd show up unannounced, notepad in hand, peering over the fence and muttering about underutilized space. One day, she cornered me while I was fixing the irrigation pump. "Robert," she said with that fake sweet smile, "imagine if we turned this into a shared green space. Picnics, events that'd skyrocket everyone's home values." I chuckled, thinking she was kidding, but her eyes were dead serious. To Linda and her crowd, my open pastures were an affront to progress, a blank slate begging for volleyball nets and gazebos. They lived in their tidy suburb, gossiping over hedges and obsessing about curb appeal, while I stuck to my waist no frills, just honest labor. I believed in live and let live. I didn't complain about their early morning lawn mowers or those tacky holiday inflatables. In return, I expected them to respect my boundaries. But respect wasn't in Linda's playbook. She saw fences as challenges, not limits. The first real intrusion hit like a gut punch. I stepped out one morning with my coffee, ready to check the cattle, and spotted a bright blue tint pitched smack in the middle of my hay field. A young couple was frying eggs on a camp stove, their kids chasing butterflies. I approached politely. "Folks, this is private land. The state park's 5 miles east." They looked confused. But Linda said this was the new neighborhood camping spot. She even handed out maps. My blood ran cold. I drove straight to Linda's McMansion, where she answered the door sipping herbal tea, acting like royalty. "Oh, Robert, don't overreact," she cooed, waving her hand. "It's harmless fun. Our yards are too small for tents, and your farm's ideal. Consider it a community service." Service? As if strangers trampling my crops and risking barn fires was a favor. I told her flat out, "This ends now. My deed says private, and that's final." But she leaned in, eyes gleaming. "Progress waits for no one, Robert. The HOA board agrees." Over the next weeks, it snowballed. More tents appeared, cars rutting up the soil, families leaving soda cans and snack wrappers behind. Teens spooked my horses by blasting music, and one group even fed my chickens junk food, making half of them sick. Every dawn brought fresh, damage-flattened corn stalks, broken gate latches, and that gnawing sense of violation. And Linda? She paraded around like a park superintendent, clipboard in tow, directing where to set up grills. To her followers, she was a hero. To me, she was a thief in sheep's clothing. I tried reasoning, reminding myself that good people respond to logic. But Linda wasn't good. She was cunning, feeding on power until her victims cracked. If the random campers were bad, the official rollout was worse. Linda didn't sneak around. She staged a full HOA spectacle at their monthly gathering in the community center. I wasn't a member, but I attended occasionally to stay informed. That night, the room buzzed with anticipation. Linda strutted to the podium, tapping her notes like a conductor. "Fellow residents," she began dramatically, "our suburb shines because we share. But we're missing communal adventures." She paused for effect, then unveiled her plan, a neighborhood camping area for family bonding and outdoor education. The crowd murmured approvingly. Then she pointed to a projected map, circling my farm in red marker. "And the spot. Right here, our adjacent open fields." I shot up. "That's my homestead. Private property." Linda laughed it off. "Oh, Robert, boundaries evolve. Your land sits idle, no playgrounds, no events. Why hoard it when our families need recreation? Think of the kids." The room erupted in applause. Parents nodded, dreaming of budget-friendly outings. Not one questioned the ethics of seizing my farm. I slammed my hand down. "You can't vote away my deed. This has been Thompson land for generations." Gasps echoed, but Linda purred. "No hostility, please. We're enhancing, not taking. It's your duty to the neighborhood." Duty? They hadn't lifted a finger for me. Board members chimed in. "It's just grass, Robert. Share a little. What harm in kids playing?" Harm? Wildfires, pollution, eroded soil, me legacy crumbling. But they were blinded by Linda's charisma. She sealed it. "If he resists, we'll deem it shared space. The HOA uplifts all, not hoarders." I left fuming, the cheers ringing like mockery. Flyers hit mailboxes the next day. Suburban Meadows camping retreat fun for all. By afternoon, the invasion peaked. Vehicles jammed my driveway. Tents dotted the fields like polka dots. A dad unloaded a massive grill, sparks flying near dry hay. I yelled, "You're trespassing." But he shrugged. Linda approved it. She appeared soon after, whistle around her neck, assigning spots like a drill sergeant. Beautiful, isn't it? Unity in action. I confronted her. "This is destruction, not unity." She smirked. "Outdated thinking, Robert. Your farm's wasted otherwise." Wasted? It sustained my life. That night, staring at flickering campfires from my porch, I knew war had been declared. By day 4, my homestead resembled a trashed fairground, trampled grass, litter everywhere, fences sagging. The air reeked of charred meat and spilled drinks. My cattle lowed restlessly, spooked by the noise. I waded into the fray, demanding they leave. Linda turned, feigning surprise. "Proud of this, Robert? Look at the joy." "Joy? My fields are ruined." She laughed, dramatic as ever. "Majority rules. This benefits everyone." I warned her. "Cross this line again, and regret it." She mocked. Empty threats. The HOA always prevails. The crowd snickered, humiliating me on my own turf. That snapped something deep inside. If crowds followed her, I'd make following painful. I tried the proper channels one last time. Called the sheriff. Trespassers everywhere. Dispatcher side. HOA filed for community access. Civil matter, take it to court. Court? While they wreck my land. At the county clerk's office, the kid behind the desk shrugged. Their temp rec designation got stamped. File a grievance, but it'll take months. My lawyer friend advised. You'll win long-term, but it'll cost a fortune. Prove harm first. Harm? What about my dying crops? Back home, Linda's festival flyers mocked me. Meadows family campout, formerly Thompson Fields. Fraudulent, but authorities dragged feet. Realizing the system favored manipulators like her, I turned to the land itself. Buried under the barn was Grandpa's old septic network, pipes for farm waste leading to a retention pond. Crude, but potent. A plan formed, not violence, but a lesson in consequences. The big festival day arrived, turning my farm into pandemonium. Cars clogged the roads. A bounce castle inflated on my corn. A stage blared country tunes. Linda, in a floppy hat and retreat coordinator's sash, mic in hand. This is our triumph, unity over selfishness. The crowd cheered. I stormed up. This is theft. She whispered. Outvoted, old man. Accept it. That sealed her fate. That night, as they slept, I accessed the hatch. Details aren't for sharing, but the surge hit at dawn, sewage flooding tents, screams erupting. Linda shrieked. Sabotage. As chaos reigned, phones captured it all. The aftermath was swift. Viral videos shamed the HOA. County fined them for violations, exposed forged papers. Linda resigned amid boos. Her empire crumbled. Neighbors helped clean, regretting their blindness. My farm healed, peace restored. I learned boundaries demand defense, even messily. What do you think? Was my stand justified against such injustice? Or did it cross into unnecessary force? Share your take in the comments. Do you side with defending property at all costs, or believe in turning the other cheek? Let's debate violence and unfairness in everyday life. Your views matter.